the locker room. Feel free to step over.
That's right.
And I thought
Why
we
don't you
agreed that I would go
introduce-
first based on your previous rejoin. So the fact that you started with Willard,
I'll walk right
I'll be
now.
mad at you, Steiny.
This is show
I
optional.
can't believe it. I can't believe it. First of all, it's 149. Ain't no
Yeah.
damn optional nothing right now.
Right.
Should be this one day in and you're already leaking oil here
So
at the
mad.
end. You guys,
Hold
you're,
on.
you're doing fine.
Mark, I'm not going to
He's
let you
zipping the
bust me
bag.
out.
Everybody's body clock is all messed up. It's still dark at 7:15 in the morning
Seriously,
today.
man.
Everybody's all
We
it's
lost an
upside down, but it's
Boy.
all good.
Well,
Yeah.
What you got?
Oh, look at you.
Hey, open it back up.
Willard Dibs,
Open
thanks.
that
Yeah.
laptop up. What you gonna say, Go?
Don't bust me out because I knew I got Steiny on one thread.
promises.
Knew he was with his baby girl. And I can tell the people I thought the Warriors lost down 8 with 2:08. I sent you a tweet saying,
Oh yeah.
"Oh no, don't do a Steiny.
No, come on.
I don't need you to
Come on,
read
let
it."
me-
But the guys,
I gotta
I thought,
find
Dibs,
it.
you thought it was over.
No chance.
So-
not at home.
You going
On the road, if they're down 2-0, I turn it off.
The only reason you're good because you texted me at 7:46 p.m. on a Saturday night. He said team's in trouble, Mark.
Oh,
Now, the reason that's okay is that I was at a party. Is it a little?
Oh, okay.
I was a little thingy, but I'd been watching the game up until that point. I was trying to keep him followed on the phone, and it was one of those things where I took a look. And then, let's go get a cocktail, and I'm off there in the corner. And my buddy comes over and goes, God darn it, yeah, they lost. And I go, shoot, they did? Man, I looked, and they were still close. Like, shoot, I can't believe they lost that game. Then I popped my phone open, I'm like, buddy, they're tied with 2 seconds to go. So I don't know what your
Draymond's
phone
about
says.
to shoot it.
So you got one upped by a buddy who
Okay,
reported to me that the game was over and the Warriors had lost, which speaks to the greatness of Steph yet again.
Yes, and
Incredible.
And you know what? The countenance of Steph, because if Jordan Poole had done what Draymond did, took the inbounds pass and looked over at Steph and said, "Nah, it's my time. It's money time." That mouthpiece would have flown.
Man.
Klay Thompson's hands would have gone up. But it's Draymond, so we're gonna give him a pass.
It's actually kind of brilliant, though. The whole gym is.
Steph was open.
And he was on a heater.
Ish.
He was open.
Ish.
Left-handed bounce pass, catch and shoot, night.
I mean, that's what I
Could
would
you
have done.
imagine?
I mean, Draymond gets a pass because he's Draymond. If Jordan Poole would have done that, it would have been an absolute state emergency.
If they had lost,
Correct.
it would have been an emergency. Even that Draymond did.
Oh, man.
If they had lost,
No one would have said a word.
we would.
Kerr would have
Of
got
course.
crushed.
We
You
would've.
got the best shooter inbounding the ball to one of.
Well, the play worked. It was a
I
give
thought
and
it
go.
worked perfect.
It worked perfectly.
He could have gotten they
Yeah,
could
what's
have
wrong?
gotten either one. I thought
Right.
because Holiday turned his back, but the minute you don't throw it right back to Steph, then you got to shoot it because it would have had to be in back boom.
But in my world, I'm just saying there is no scenario where Dre shoots it over Steph.
Right. Other than that scenario. And by the way, in and out heartbreak. If that goes in,
If that goes
and
in.
I love Draymond, he's like, I would have had a
50K.
$50K fine for the dance he would have
Sam
done.
Cassell.
Which good for him,
That was good.
for him, but he missed it. So,
Man.
and then overtime, an absolute domination situation. So it was great for the Warriors. Must needed win.
Absolutely.
What's the number tonight? I haven't even looked at it. Are they supposed
Warriors
to win
minus
tonight?
3.5.
They're minus 3.5.
Minus
Yeah.
3.5.
Yep.
I'm curious, man. I mean,
I'm off a week or two.
we were talking about it. I don't know.
That road trip
it's
killed
up
the
to-
Warriors.
It's
Yeah.
up to 4.5, by the way.
Uh-oh.
It's all the way up to 4.5, and threatening to go to 5. Look at this.
Now, how do you know that? It's
Well, just
threatening.
because it's at minus 115 instead of
Yeah.
minus 110.
So they
it's-
juice it
the
before
more-
they change the
There's
number.
more money on the Warriors right
Yeah.
now than the Suns at 4.5.
So if it's minus 110, which is a standard wager either
Okay.
way, then you know that the money's coming in evenly. If it goes to minus 115, Warriors are given 4.5, but it's
Right.
minus 115. That's telling you that any more money that we get, it's either going to go to minus 120 or more likely it goes to minus
Minus
5,
five.
and then the money goes back down to minus 110.
Gotcha.
Minus 110 is your standard even bet. That way the bookies and the casinos get their juice.
I mean, I don't know how you bet against the Warriors at home or with them on the road.
I don't know.
Seriously.
I don't know how
Until something changes.
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how you bet. Period. End of sentence. When it comes to a Warrior game, I've divorced
I feel like
myself.
you know something.
Well,
But
I'm,
go ahead.
I've divorced myself from expectation, and because I have to. If not, I will do what I see a lot of Warrior fans doing right now, which is be angry no matter the outcome. A Warrior fan right now, you're angry when they lose. That road trip was putrid.
It was.
But even then, after that's the Milwaukee Bucks. There's no Giannis. It's still a good basketball team, but people, as they come down the stretch, are like, this is ridiculous. How do you blow this game? And then Steph's got to come save you.
Yeah.
And so
Which he did.
I guess the way I would say it is we're watching a flawed team with the opinion that they're not flawed. We're still running them through the prism of last year.
But the question is why. Steiny told me
There's
today.
a ton of answers.
Okay, but that I didn't see it Friday. That game in Memphis was embarrassing.
Of course
and
it
was
was.
embarrassing because it meant something to Dre, and it should have meant something to everybody. Clay letting the ball just bounce in the guy. Like, that was offensive for a fan. So, but then you're a different team at home. I can't just say it's age. So a message is getting left somewhere. I don't know, but I feel like fans have a right, Mark and Dibs, to be upset or to question why you're a championship team. Are you Heckle and Jekyll?
Well, I mean, fans have the right to do whatever they want and feel whatever they want.
Heckle and Jekyll were the Crows, by the way.
That's right.
And I like Heckle and Jekyll.
That works. That actually is perfect for the Warriors.
It's hilarious.
Because we can't even get to the end of the sentence before we just switch and turn right.
Better than Heckle and Jide.
Way better. Way better.
You caught that?
Yeah, I did. It's so good.
I didn't say anything.
Heckle and Jide. I'm going to go with that.
Heckle and
The Warriors
Jide.
are Heckle and Jide.
No doubt.
I'll bear Davis asking today. I'll tell you that later. Yeah.
I got my answer, but everybody's got their answer, and there's you can't put it in Sharpie like you know for sure. Right. But when defense and trips on the road are what don't work, that feels to me like a team that's lacking togetherness and cohesion. And I think we know that story. But I guess I've sort of reached a point that's like, look, it's acceptance. It's acceptance that this team is flawed. I don't think they're going to win a championship this year. It doesn't mean I'm going to give up on the idea. But I'm sort of a little bit more ready for the twists and the turns. I'm not
the aftermath.
I can't go to bed mad when they beat the Bucks. I don't care what the damn scenario was.
Right.
Because this isn't a perfect team.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
You got the dub.
Yeah.
No pun
When
intended.
they beat anybody, I feel the same way with this team. You can't go to bed mad when they win any game because wins are precious, especially on the road.
Yep.
What do they got? 7 losses at home and 7 wins on the road?
I think that's what it is.
It's unheard of.
The one thing, and I guess there's just no way to do this either, but I would try to do it if I were a Warrior fan, is there any way you can view this team without championship or bust? You know what I mean?
That's what we're trying to get to today, actually.
Well, if you're
it's
telling
funny
me
you say that.
number 22 is not coming back, Steiny, then I'm on. I tried to get out the bed.
Yeah, I mean,
because I didn't see that
and
coming.
I heard that, and you're better than that.
Thank
You're
you.
better
Really?
than that. Yeah.
I'm going to call you later.
No, he mentioned the Weasel, and I immediately thought about you as Pauly Shore. The Weasel,
dude, I
buddy.
remember,
You made the bet,
MTV.
and you've been in, you've been out, you've been in,
But we
you've been
never
out.
knew this was going to happen.
No, but he knew this could happen.
But that's the way it works.
The reason,
no.
don't you get it?
Don't do this,
Don't you get it,
real
Guru?
quick.
The reason
I was
why,
waiting on you guys.
Guru, don't you get it? And I'm doing my
The
Steiny.
injuries are okay. That's on me.
The reason why he made the bet was because
He didn't see this coming, though,
the
Dibs.
potentiality for
Saw it all.
something. The potential for something.
Something.
Don't you get it,
This
Goo?
something never happens. It's
How am I doing,
injury.
Steiny?
It's
Pretty good.
Come
Thank
on.
you.
The Wiggins thing was nothing anybody saw
Well-
because we don't even know what to call it
But
right
it's a
now.
thing.
It's
Why
a
is it
mystery.
Acting like
But
that's the reason they're 500.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Now that you could
They're
be disappointed.
500
I'm
with
not.
him. They're 500 without him.
500
To pull
with
this
this guy?
off,
Yeah.
they need him.
I mean,
My answer
Come
to
on,
be
Mark, meet me
why,
halfway.
Now, why just because we don't know does it make it different than
Because it's not. If it was basketball related, I turned my foot, I'm hurt.
Ja
then he would
Morant-
have been like, you should have saw that.
Ja Morant's not basketball related?
But he's coming back.
Is he?
I think he's coming back.
I mean,
this Wiggins, if Kerr said what he said Saturday, Mark, I don't
know.
think he's. I hope I'm wrong.
You might be right.
It's on the table.
But that's
and I
the-
never thought something non-basketball would take 22 away.
But that's just part of the deal. I mean, I don't know how many teams in the NBA right now, outside of the Sacramento Kings and the Denver Nuggets, are playing with their best player right now.
Right.
Who has their best player? Luka's out, Kyrie's out, KD's out, Giannis sitting out.
Gotcha.
Right? Like Steph just came back. We can go on and on. LeBron is out. So, I mean, it's part of the deal. But by the way, that Ja thing, I don't know if you guys watched Taylor Jenkins over the weekend. This suddenly felt a hell of a lot more like a suspension than it did a player taking time to go find this, that, or the other. Taylor's like,
I agree.
I started hearing some of the quotes that sounded exactly like Draymond at the beginning of the year. It's like, we've talked to this man before.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he's going to have to do some things. He got a checklist. You got to check and box before you're allowed to come back in this building. I was like, oh, he didn't go away to find himself. He got punished.
And it'll play better when I do believe he comes back, that we did something to him for the multitude. How many? I don't know. What is there? 4 things now,
At least.
Well,
4 that we know about.
And if you know 4, then there are 40.
Right.
Wow.
And I don't know if he has time to play better, or if he can, get to that point where he becomes mature enough to handle his business off the court to be ready to play on the court. We don't know that yet.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm a little stuck with right now, and hopefully the professional Mark Willard will help me, is you're listening to 95.7 The Game.
KGMZ.
In FM HD1.
In FM HD1.
San Francisco. Always live on the Odyssey app.
Always live on the Odyssey app.
Can I switch it up and share with you guys? Yeah?
Please, yeah.
What I'm going to think about when I'm in the caddy, and it won't be Steiny, because I'm going to see him tomorrow, but it's sports related. So I watched that Niner game, their whole run, Seattle, Dallas. The game was there for Dallas. And I just felt like Bosa didn't, and my fault, Bosa didn't wreck the game. I felt like that D-line, they didn't just get home left and right. And no shaded Bosa, but I was like, man, they're going to need some help. And lo and behold, and I know they signed Wednesday, but day one of free agency, you just hooked up with the Eagles, and when you lined up, they had a better D-line than you. They were deeper. You go get Javon Hargrave from them to add to both. I mean, kudos to, I didn't see it coming. You never do, but damn, they got better.
There's all kinds of things that come with this deal.
They got better.
It's always better when you get better and you lessen your number one opponent.
I'm talking about,
however, hidden in this is also, hidden in this is a little whack at the shins of the 49ers, which is Javon Kinlaw. And as has been pointed out by some on social media today, you gave Hargrave the exact deal that you wouldn't give Defoe
3 years ago.
So, I know it's a new cap and a new year, and so maybe this deal works now and it didn't work then. But, you
noticed it, though, and you did it right.
It's like you get credit for it. It's no different than the quarterback thing. If Brock Purdy ends up being a star, cool, you got Brock Purdy. You totally whiffed whatever it was. Why'd you do what you did for Trey Lance then?
Right.
So,
the reason why you can do it now and not then is because Jimmy Garoppolo. You had Jimmy Garoppolo making $25 million a year then, and now you've got 2 guys on a rookie deal, so you've got more room now to do what you need to do. I think this is more of a slap at the Javon Kinlaw, and you're basically admitting that was a mistake. That's painful, but to your point, it's not as painful as if you ever get to the point where you have to admit that Trey Lance is a mistake.
Speaking of Jimmy Garoppolo, would love all your opinions on this.
Give it to him.
I see that deal, and I sit there for a few minutes. First thing that goes through my mind, because this is the way it works when you're a sports fan, I go, damn, Dibs was right. He got me.
That hurt you.
He got me because it was a short deal, and it was not an expensive deal. Yeah. But once I sat with it for a little while, I went, good Lord, the NFL is telling us that Kyle Shanahan's the best coach in the league. And I need somebody to convince me otherwise. You're telling me that a quarterback, and now we're in a free agent market where he's the only one left. You could trade for Aaron, you could trade for Matt, but this is the only free agent left who is considered starting quality for sure. Daniel Jones gets 40. Geno Smith gets 35. And this dude got 22. And he's winning 70% of his games. The league looked at him and went, dude, you're just a creation of Kyle Shanahan. $22 million.
Okay.
They gave him sort of starter status.
Well, can we keep it
kind of a starter?
And I'm going to go first, Steiny. He had nobody to be mad at, Jimmy, but himself, because availability is the best ability. And had he been available more than he was injured, his ass might still be in the red and gold. So I feel like some of that is because they couldn't count on him. Geno was just, we don't trust you.
I wonder.
Who else did you mention?
I know I must be in the minority on this, but I have the hardest time. We've had this conversation with Lamar. I have the hardest time thinking that teams go into signing players and going, but injury concern.
And he got hurt this year, Mark.
It's football.
But
they all get hurt. They all.
But not
does your
hurt.
track record affect what you'll be paid?
I don't know.
I think it did.
I don't know.
Definitely.
Like,
No
I think
doubt.
Derek Carr reaps the benefit of basically being healthy his whole career, right?
One injury.
Well,
yeah.
that one.
The most important.
Gulo and I on the trip to Reno.
At the most important
But
moment of his
Shane,
career.
He actually only missed one game, right?
And
Or
it was
two
the
games,
most,
the last regular
most
season.
important
Right.
moment of his
No
career,
doubt,
and he
you're
missed
right.
it. You know, I just.
But
I
since then,
do
he's
think
been
that
Iron
is
Man.
a part of the
Honestly.
reason why he got less. And I think it's interesting what you said about Kyle Shanahan, because if the notion is that Jimmy is only as good as Kyle Shanahan's laminated play sheet, then maybe that played into the fact that he got 3 years and only 22.5 per year.
Yep. I mean, the league's looking at it right. I don't think Brock Purdy helped Jimmy at all. I mean, if you think about it this way, right?
Gotcha.
Right.
Like you came in,
and it looked different.
right? And you have the label over your forehead. You're Mr. Irrelevant, and you walk in,
But why?
And,
Again,
and the team starts scoring 10
why did
points more
Brock
per game
Why did Brock take over the reins? Because Jimmy got hurt.
Jimmy got hurt.
I think there's
But
also a
then
scenario.
Brock got hurt, and Trey got hurt.
Well, let me ask you this.
And Josh
I asked
Allen.
Steiny this. Who's better, honestly, Derek Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo? Forget where they're going. If you just had to pick a quarterback to quarterback a game for your life and everything's the same.
The league says Derek, but Jimmy wins more.
Like, I think the Raiders might be better with Jimmy Garoppolo.
I asked
think that's
Mark that same thing in the green room. I said, did
perfectly-
the Raiders get better
I'm not ready
today?
to say no.
Right, exactly. And yet, and they're paying Jimmy less than what Derek was able to command. So did the Raiders get better? Ask Josh McDaniels if he thinks that they got better.
And
I
remember,
bet you would say
Jimmy
yes.
insinuated that I just throw the ball like he was being held back a little. So now if we see Jimmy unplugged here in Las Vegas in regard to throwing the ball downfield, because he kind of felt like he was on a leach. That's what I got from him.
I mean, he's got weapons. He's got Devontae.
got a bunch
He's
of
got
weapons.
Waller.
Jacobs.
Yep. I mean, they're an interesting team, but at the same time, he's now in a division with Mahomes and Herbert.
Good luck with that.
Wow.
You got my. You guys got my text over the weekend.
No. Yes, I did. Which I was like, what the hell's going on?
Did you get a chuckle? Just give me a little chuckle.
I chuckle whenever you text. I'm like, there's something going on.
turn my
here.
mic
We didn't even
down.
talk
It's not
about
at face
this.
value.
I didn't get a text.
Villar is hurt.
Oh,
I saw
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I did say, why are you laughing? No.
You don't even know how to pronounce his damn name over
Did you
here.
text about
VR?
VR, or did you text about
David
Haniger,
VR.
the other hurt guy?
Oh, no, well, Hanniger, we're going to find out about.
Well,
no.
It's
By the
a-
way,
Villar. we might
VR
have-
scratched today with hip tightness.
Right, hip tightness.
by the way,
Steiny on a Saturday.
By the way, since then, Brandon Crawford shut down for a week.
Man.
That came down about an hour ago, I think.
Man, bet the under at
And it's
81
the
and a
same,
half.
and it's the,
Yeah.
and it's the same injury he had last year. He's got knee discomfort,
Right.
which is never a problem in sports.
No, not an issue at
It's
all.
just a knee. So
in March.
should be fine.
You guys are
And we
great.
will do a quick sprinkle on the World Baseball Classic, which
We're in full play now, right?
Mark DeRosa's hands
Oh,
are
my
tied.
God, no idea.
I mean, they don't even.
First of all, I'm not look, I don't like squashing things. If you like it, you like it.
Sure.
I haven't watched a damn minute, but when they showed up over the weekend and told me that there was a mercy rule, I went, okay,
I'm just learning
we're
that
done
right
here.
now. Okay.
We're done here.
Well,
you get
poor
the local
managers,
softball.
they're handcuffed because their obligation is to the parent club.
right.
And so DeRosa
So, yeah.
can't
So
really
what
do
is
what-
it? So
Can't
what
really
is?
Devo.
So then what is this? If you need a
an
mercy
exhibition.
rule, but even that, if you need a mercy rule to protect because something else is more
Local
important.
softball league. That's Bush League.
It's like you're advertising that you're less important. So
we
then
got
why
3
would I
minutes,
watch
right?
you?
We got 3 minutes.
You can
Yeah.
stay as long as Steiny lets you.
He's already
He got
packed
the
it
last-
up.
He's over here.
Now listen.
He looks like he hasn't shaved in 3
I'm
days.
not
Like, I
afraid.
mean, what the hell's
Is
going
this
on
going to feel
here?
like every game is overtime?
Yes.
This is
Totally.
what it's going to feel like.
And you're going
Because
to
y'all
love it.
used to do it, though.
We may be
I didn't
0-1
thank
in
you enough.
overtime.
Unlike Jordan Poole, we need you to actually be on the floor.
Listen,
So,
I
thank you.
criticize when it's time to criticize. John Morant, and I laid this on him. He is not a poster boy for doing the right things. You need to be embarrassed with what you've done off the field. But fair foul, and we'll wrap this up. The strip club, we've all been to, men and women. you can't release the photos of what he's doing in there. As much money as he's spending, it ain't even about the bread, but I guess it is. How are we? And Steiny
Wasn't
goes,
that
you know
his
what,
own
dude?
Instagram though?
No, this was they leaked the photos.
One of the pictures
is that
was.
fair or fat? To me, that's no honor amongst thieves, Norm. That's the saying. But come on, man. Come on, Mark. You can't do that.
My stomach is turned by the whole thing from every single direction.
Steiny said nothing's private no more.
Well, I mean, listen.
Confession at church? Is that video coming out?
Man, if they had cameras in there, I mean, probably
Mark,
not.
I thought that was foul.
The
dude dropped some money.
Confession is not the same as going to a strip club. Yeah, so you go to a strip club, you're on your own.
They usually end up related, but
one usually comes before the other. Sure.
No, that was a little surprising.
Okay,
it was a little surprising. And I don't mean whether it's a whatever kind of club, like the fact that a public establishment would just start putting out pictures of celebrities, I'd be like, well, that's the last time celebrity's going to come in there. I can tell you that. So that's a little bit weird.
March Madness, anything?
What about it?
Yeah, exactly.
2 brackets.
We'll get into it as we get
we got to
closer.
get one at the station, please.
Yeah.
Well, Dibs, you already have the 4 teams who can win it all, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll reveal
But that's
that
based
later
on a
today.
metric.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's based on a metric because actually, my first
Ken Palm.
My first take is that normally there's about 7 to 8 teams that are capable of winning 6 games.
I got Bama winning mine.
I got way to go out on a limb.
Texas has to
like
do it.
this year, it feels like there are 17 teams who could win it all.
Wow.
Pretty wide open.
Yeah.
But the numbers would tell you that only 4 teams qualify. You got to be a top 20 team in offense and in defense. There are 4 teams that fit the bill. I'll have that for you later today.
Steiny was upset. North Carolina preseason predicted number 1, and they didn't even make the tournament. Told the NIT deuces, we ain't coming.
Yeah.
That was weak.
It's shameful.
Yeah.
Shameful.
It was
Exactly.
There you go. No, I thought it was.
I'm not bothered by that. I'm not bothered. What's North Carolina? I mean, you don't want to go to the NIT? Don't go to the NIT.
Then you're ineligible for the NCAA
Willard,
tournament
come on.
the following year.
You just who are you to frown your nose
Thank
like
you.
What do you mean?
There's a
You
reason
go
you
wherever the hell
qualify
you
for the
want.
tournament.
If a coach looks at a 6-6 college football teams and goes, "I don't want to go to the Hawaii Bowl with 3 people there," then don't go to the Hawaii. I don't care.
Would you shock me
If
every
I'm a
day,
senior,
man?
If I'm a senior
Right.
on North Carolina and I'm sitting with 991 points, and Hubert Davis says, "Yeah, we're not going to the NIT," I'm like,
'Cause Dibs
"I'm
doesn't
going to
wanna
the
go.
NIT."
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, these guys, you're looking at one and done athletes. That's a one and done type school, and now you're going to say that the players are upset because
Where's the pride, though? I guess
If
that's
you
fine.
think you're better than the NIT,
Yes.
then be better than the NIT.
No doubt.
Because
But-
you're not better than the NIT.
No,
you
there's
shouldn't
not.
even have the out of saying we ain't coming. Like
Yeah.
your ass should have been
Wait a minute,
playing.
you just
Let
like
Jimmy
you
Boeheim
force them
take
to
the
go?
fellas.
It's like, no,
Yeah, we
you
just-
have to go play in the NIT,
Something.
which, by the way, none of you will watch one game of.
Santa
I'll
Clara,
be-
my son, team manager.
Okay.
I'll be betting it tomorrow.
Yeah,
Hello.
you're-
We
all
got
right.
rocks.
Sorry.
That's
Sorry.
going to do
I
it.
forgot what you
Guys,
said.
don't go anywhere. Willard
Oh,
and Dibs on your
wait, you're leaving?